Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me. So, if you'd seen my last video, and I'll put a card up here, I think, if I can work out how to do it. I'm just going to be talking about how the workplace for someone who has mental health problems could be very difficult. Now, obviously, I'm not physically disabled, so I can't speak for the physically disabled. I'm only coming at this from someone with mental health problems. And I thought I'd make this video because I'm not looking for sympathy or anything like that. You know, it is what it is. But I just want to try and, reach people who perhaps aren't neurodivergent, who maybe aren't disabled, people who think that they can just go back into work and get on with it, because sometimes you can't. So I actually managed to hold down a job for 23 years. And it was in local government. Now, before that, I'd had lots of little jobs, but I couldn't keep them down because I was getting fired because of my attendance, because I would get severe panic attacks or really, really bad anxiety, and I couldn't get into work. I know that sounds like, I'll just, get on with it, suck it up, get on with it, but I physically couldn't. And now, subsequently, years later, therapists have said to me, well, you're autistic. I've never been formally diagnosed because I don't want to go through that whole process, to be fair. But I have anxiety, I have panic attacks. Apparently I'm autistic. I have emetophobia, so I have a fear of people vomiting. I have really bad fear of germs and viruses and things like that. I have a dog who's snoring next to me, so I do apologise. So because of all of that, I found the workplace very difficult. And when I got into the local government job, I still had these problems. I still had these issues. But the difference was, at that time, they didn't really sack anybody. They would put you on report. They would monitor your attendance. They would say, look, you've got to improve. They would do this, that and the other. They very rarely sacked people. And that's why I managed to stay in the job so long, because they didn't sack people generally. And my attendance at times was awful. And, and I'm not proud of it. I'm absolutely horrified by it. But that's just the way it was. And it was eventually after 23 years that it got to the point where I was having so many panic attacks in the day. I was having panic attacks on the way into work. I was having panic attacks while I was at work. I couldn't physically do it anymore. So I had to resign. And so then I went on to antidepressants, which has helped to some extent. But that comes with other things. That comes with other problems. It comes with drowsiness. It comes with, forgetfulness. I mean, sometimes I forget things, and you may have noticed that on video. Sometimes my memory is terrible. It's not because I don't care. It's not because, I'm not doing the research. It's because, sometimes things just disappear out of my head. And so that's why I'm thinking how hard it's going to be for people with even the minor mental health problems to actually function day to day in work. I mean, I don't consider myself to be, severely mentally incapacitated or anything like that. But it's just a physical thing with my anxiety and my stress and things like that. It just stops me from doing things sometimes. And sometimes I don't even want to leave the house. It gets that bad. So that's why I'm thinking to myself, how hard is this going to be for people who get told by the DWP, look, we're going to find you a job and we're going to keep you in that job. Because for me, sometimes the thought of going into work, knowing I was going to have a panic attack, would give me a panic attack, because I'd be somewhere where I knew I was going to have a panic attack. I'd be stressed from the job itself on me, and it would just be too much. But I'd know that I'd have to go in because my attendance has been so bad. Sometimes I would force my way in, to go into work, and I would just sit there the whole day not doing anything, because my mind would not be there. I'd just be completely panicked the whole time. And so I don't see how someone with certain mental health problems is going to be productive for an employer. And that's where I'm coming from, so that's why I do things like this channel, because I'm trying to raise awareness of people who say, well, they just don't want to work. you know, they just don't care, they just don't want to work, they just want to sit at home all day. No, they don't. They really do want to contribute, but sometimes physically or mentally or whatever it might be, they just can't do it. So, you know, if someone said to me, can you work every day? I would say I would do my very best to, but I know that I wouldn't be able to. And I can't say what conditions they could put in place, what adaptations they could put in place which would help me. I don't know. I don't know what that would be. I've never come across a suggestion that's actually helped me yet. And companies have tried in the past to help me. It just hasn't worked for me. But anyway, that's why I'm making this video. So that hopefully, I know the government's not going to watch this because even if they did, they wouldn't care. But I just want to explain to people why I feel so passionately about people who have been forced into doing things that they can't do. I know there are people who cheat the system, as people do always say, but there are the vast majority of people who are in the same position, physically or mentally. So anyway, that's why I wanted to make this video. So if it's helpful, thank you, I appreciate it. But as I said, I'm not looking for sympathy, I'm just trying to explain to people why I'm doing this channel and why I feel the way I do about it. I hope that you are all well, and I'll see you next time.